I like the color of my skin.
I like the color of my skin, but I also don't like the color of my skin because of how society paints out the color of my skin. But because of continuing to educate myself and make myself realize that my skin is beautiful, I also do love my skin. So 50-50.
For me, I would say it has been like a journey, you know?
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, I never appreciated, you know, being black or being dark. I always thought it was something, you know, bad. But, you know, growing up and experiencing, you know, having different friends, having different experiences, it's now taught me to appreciate it more and how, you know, I'm African. Yeah, I'm black. I'm proud, you know?
Or even just around like family members or stuff when I was growing up. My siblings were the only ones who used to be told that they're beautiful in their skin. I was never told I'm beautiful in my dark skin. And contrary to what people think, Luos are like really dark like me. So since there weren't many and I didn't have like those figures, I actually internalized that, yeah, my darker skin isn't as beautiful as like my siblings and stuff.
I don't think I've struggled with it. I mean, yeah, my dad is dark. He's like your complexion. But the rest of us, my mom and my sisters, were light. So, but we've never really had that, like, I'd say, categorization of like people. So for me, we've never really like struggled with that.
On what you were saying, about, you know, people telling like kids that you look beautiful, lighter kids. I don't know if this is correct, but the ugly duckling. Do you remember that story? Wasn't that duckling black?
Yeah.
And all of the family members were white. So I think even from my early age, you're already being conditioned
and
to think
exposed
like,
to such.
Yeah, dark means ugly. Dark means scary.
Yeah.
Light skin privilege exists.
It does exist. Because there are times when, okay, I won't like sit here and lie and say I haven't used my light skin to get things done. I have. Like, I have sat in front of people and I've smiled my way into things because I'm light skinned. And yeah.
I think if the system benefits you, it's very hard for you not to abuse it. You know, like what I'm trying to say is that if you are, you know, the one being praised or your skin is the one that's being glorified, then you yourself, first of all, you won't notice it per se, and you'll only notice it like after a while. And it's very hard for you to just be like, yeah, because I'm light skinned, I'm not gonna do it, or I'm not gonna take advantage of this. Yeah.
I feel like light skin privilege definitely does exist. I've had issues in school where people of lighter skin are given better opportunities than me based on the color, or even run-ins with the law where lighter skin is favored more by the law and darker skin isn't. So I feel like there's definitely privilege there.
100% it does exist. Especially like for guys, because we don't talk about it as much. I mean, for girls, like you said, but like for guys, we never talk about like, you know, light skin privilege existing. But yes, it does exist. And especially, for instance, in the modeling scene, it's like it's out there just as much as it is for ladies. So yeah.
I have wanted to change my skin color before.
Most definitely. Because growing up, my mom and my siblings are like you guys' skin color, and I'm the darkest child. So when we'd go to like malls or places, everyone used to be like, oh my god, is that like your adopted kid? Or people would like accuse my parents of having affairs because I'm the darker one. Or just generally like in school, people who didn't want to play with me because I'm darker. So I always used to just want to be lighter. Sometimes even when it came to like washing clothes, I used to soak my hands in bleach, like in the water, so my hands could be lighter. So I most definitely have wanted to change.
I have wanted to change my skin color at some point, because there's this once my sisters came to visit me in school.
Sorry, to a lighter or darker?
To a darker. I would have loved if that could happen.
Okay.
So my sisters are of a darker complexion. So there's some student who came and asked me, how are those your sisters? Why are you so light? Kwani, what happened in the process and you became light and everyone else is dark? Yeah.
So like, what did that?
I wanted to fit in with my family. Yeah.
I think I was insecure during my teen years, like when you're in high school, like when you're light skinned, people like, okay, for me this is what I got, like people think you're soft or like you're not like hardcore, if like you can't relate to like the common things, you know, what people go through. So people think you're soft, or like people think you're like, you know, wealthy or something like that. But yeah, I think, but like I kind of like outgrew that and just like knowing myself. Yeah.
I think I relate with you because you know what you're saying about light skins are perceived as soft, dark skins are hard.
Yeah.
Now me being a dark skin, because I'm skinny, yeah, like people would be like, you're supposed to be hard, but you're not, obviously. So it's like a dilemma, you know. It's like you can't win.
My skin color is fetishized.
You know, like the way people say, oh, I want to marry this person so that my kids can be light skinned, you know, all of that. So yeah, definitely, yeah, like light skin are fetishized because of that reason. But also there's like two sides of the coin. Like there's an interesting point that you said about like black dudes being, you know, fetishized by white women or stuff like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. You don't really see it when you're younger. You don't see it, but as you become, you know, of age, you start going like out and stuff. You start experiencing the real world. You start to see it a lot more. And I think also for me, I was in a white school, if I can call it that, and so there it was really like plain for everyone to see how obvious like black people are fetishized. Like even sometimes you know, like your friend comes to you one morning, it's like, yo, I'm dating this girl, and you're like, I've never seen you talk to her in my life. How are you guys dating? She probably just came up to him one day, I was like, you know, let's go. And yeah, just cause he's a black guy, she thought, you know, I can take advantage of him in that way. And yeah, a lot of black people don't realize that they're being taken advantage of, and then they're not looking for what they're advertising, you know. They're saying, oh yeah, I want a boyfriend or whatever, but what they really want is just a black dude.
I feel like what you're saying is true. Like even for me, there are people who've come and said, especially like white people or like people of the complexion, who say, you know what, maybe you should just have kids so that I just want mine to be darker or to have more curly hair. You know, it's just small stuff like that doesn't make sense.
100%. I think, colorism, I don't think anyone can avoid it, because it's the society that's, you know, putting the system in place. So even us as men, we might not talk about it. We might not share anything with anyone about the things we face, but it happens almost every day.
Yeah, it definitely happens. You know, even like I mentioned in the modeling scenario, they'll tend to go for lighter skin men or stuff like that. But yeah, it does happen for sure.